Hello everybody, sit back, grab yourself a coffee and get ready for the only farming simulator tutorial you'll ever need. We're going to go through absolutely everything for a complete beginner's guide. So if you're completely new to the game, you've just got it. It is free on Game Pass as well at the minute. I think it's quite cheap on the PlayStation. You've got hold of the game, you want to know what to do, because I've had an awful lot of questions on all my tutorial videos of how do you do this, and I thought, you know what, I said I weren't doing any more farming simulator videos, but I'm going to blast out one more that goes through absolutely everything. So if you're brand new to the game, by the end of this video you should be a farming expert. Let's get on with the video, and welcome to the channel. So first things first, you're going to be met with this screen on the career mode, whether you want to be a new farmer, a farm manager, or start from scratch. The new farmer option is the easy option. You start off with a lot of land, you start off with money. So if you're new to the game, I would say jump on easy just till you've got used to everything. When you get used to the basics, drop on farm manager. And if you want to go up full hog like I do, start from scratch. That's where you start with absolutely nothing. You start with debt and it's a real challenge. But initially I would say choose new farmer, and then you get met with these three maps. You've got a selection of Hout Bellarine, Erlengra, and the American-based map Elm Creek. So first things first, I want to go down to downloadable content just to show you the mods. There's an awful lot of mods you can get for this. There's different maps you can pick, loads. There is tractors, medium, large, small. There's different trucks you can get. There's auto load trailers, harvesters, forest harvesters, everything you could think of. But the first tip I would say is try and leave the mods alone until you get used to the game. Get used to the base game first, because then you'll be a lot more in tune with what you need to do and what you need to press. And after this tutorial, and when you've got used to the game, then maybe explore some of the mods. But initially I would say leave them alone, because some of them won't work properly. It's just better to play the base game, get used to it, and before you know it, you'll be modding. You'll be living the life of the mods. So I'm going to jump into a game and show you how we get started and how it all takes place in the farming world. So here we are in Hout Bellarine. I've chose, I'm on easy, so as you can see I've started off with 100,000 in August, so it's going to be prime for crops and harvesting. If I press for the options menu and scroll down, you'll see everything that's on sale here that you could buy. The used vehicle sale, that's quite handy if you want to pick up some cheap things. Your garage is what you already own, so that's everything I've got. Cars, tractors, everything is in your list there. That's your owned items. If I go to the field view, which is pressing start, I will go down to what I own. Everything that's blue, so field 38, 40 and 41 I own. These are my buildings. This is my equipment. So you've got your top liner there, your tractor, that will be my car. And you've got your house. So I'm just going to fast travel to the house. You can fast travel by pressing X on the Xbox. It says at the bottom, visit. And there we are, we're at a house. Here you'd normally have icons on. I turn them off just for immersion. You can press the thumbstick in and you can sleep to move to the next day. So that's what you need to do to move your day on. If you go into the options menu again, right at the very bottom, there's a helpful guide. So if you ever get stuck as well, you can look through all this. It goes through absolutely everything. If you want the help windows on, you go to the general settings and you can turn the help windows on and off. I'll show you that when we jump in a tractor, so you can see exactly what it does. Change euros to dollars, pounds, whatever you want. You can change everything in there. You can change the amount of days per month, so you can be really realistic. 28 days, 1 day, seasonal growth. That's just going over the basics of turning everything on. Now I'm going to jump into a tractor, because the first thing you're going to want to do is press left on your D-pad. You can press right, whatever, left or right. Jump in a top liner. Now as you can see, I'm going to zoom out. It's got a header. You have to press A to attach the header, and it attaches. Then you press LB, and you will need to unfold the harvester. That is A. Now I'm going to switch on this here, which I said earlier, the help window, just so you can get a better guide. Now as you can see, LB, and that's all your options when you've got your finger on LB. Fold harvester, lower it, turn it on, so we'll turn it on. You can press RB and honk your horn, and you can press them both together, and you can toggle your radio on and off, change your cruise control speed. But there you go, that's it. And you drive, and there you go, it's picking up your first ever crop. You can change once you get a bit more advanced whether you want the swath to appear at the back, the chaff, sorry. This is what you can pick up and turn into bales, but initially I would leave it on like that so it does your bales. I'm going to lower the header again, turn on the harvester, and we can just see it picking up the beautiful crop. And that is just harvesting your first field. You're going to want to do the entire field, because this is the entire field that you own. Start off with these type of crops because they're a lot easier to work. And now we'll move on to the next thing. Now we're going to look at when you start a season. You've got to plough your fields. You want to attach these cultivators. You can get ploughs. I'm going to also put this on the front. And now this, as you can see in the top left hand corner, there's a tractor icon. If you press Y, it will move between the back and the front. That is so when you press LB, you can control whatever it's lit up. So at the moment it's lowering my weight by pressing LB. If I press Y again, this is all on the Xbox. It's the same on the PlayStation. Obviously it's not just called a Y, it's they're different on the PlayStation. But you press the LB and now the icon's lit up at the back. So I'm on the cultivator. So I'll get to the front of the field, lower my cultivator, and we can cultivate this first field. If you want to know how to field prep fully, I've done another video on field prep that shows you how to cultivate, how to plough, how to get your field preparation done 100% before you put your crops in. But that is the basics of getting your first field done that needs ploughing. So this is why I said go on easy. You can do it how you want, I just do lines, but this is why I said go on easy, because when you're on easy, it puts you straight in with learning how to cultivate and plough a field and how to get your first field ready. And it also shows you, which I showed you earlier, how to harvest your first field. So that is just getting your first fields ready. Again, I'm going to jump on just to show you quickly the fields. Here, this is really interesting. On the right hand side, it says your crop types. So as you can see, this field 41 is brown, so it'll tell you what that crop type is. This one I'm working on here is yellow, so again it shows you that it's wheat. Everybody else's fields, which you can buy, shows you what you want. So if you've got the equipment for doing, say, potatoes, you can have a look round and think, I want to expand my empire, so I'm going to buy another potato field. So that's a really handy guide. You move that across and it says your growth. So again, you know that field 41 is cultivated. Field 38, the orange is ready to harvest, so we're ready to go. The purple at the top is what I've already harvested. Field 40, as you can see, the light blue, I've cultivated it. The purple, it's harvested. So as you get used to the step-by-step guides on that, you know that at the right hand side you want to start with cultivating or ploughed, so you get your seed bed, then you want to plant your crops, then you start getting these greens, which are growing stages, and then you get you ready to harvest. So keep an eye on that as you go through the months, and when you get to ready to harvest, harvest it. And then when you've harvested it, you've harvested it. Do it before it withers and you'll get your money, and then you just start the season again. Now I want to talk about seeders, because you're going to want to seed your fields. This is a field we've prepared earlier, so now I've got my seeder on the back. We're going to move on to the field, and again, make sure in the top, 'cause currently it's on my weight. So if I move to the back, in the top left hand corner, that's now on my seeder. You can see in the bottom right hand corner what crop you've actually got selected. It's barley. You can plant whatever you want. So for this I'm just going to do, what shall I do? I'll do some soybeans. So I've loaded that up now with soybeans by pressing LB and pressing Y to change to soybeans. Now I'm going to unfold the seeder, I'm going to lower it, and I'm going to turn it on. Can't be planted in August. Uh-oh. Let's have a look. So that's really good because it's now showed you what you need to do for this kind of month. So I'm moving down to talk about the crop calendar. So in August, all the orange is what is your harvest season. So I can't plant the soybeans until April because that's the green, and they need harvesting in October. So keep an eye on this calendar so you know what to do. I can only plant canola right now, so I'm going to have to go back, turn it all off, and we're back to the beginning. So now I'm going to have to change my soybeans, keep moving it over until we get canola. Let's just double check. The canola can be planted now. So same again, we lower, we turn on, and we're off. And there we are seeding with canola. I'm going to get a worker to help me, because if you've got other fields to take on, this is another helpful guide. Simply press B and that worker will do it for you. She's now being paid a wage which will come out of my money, but she'll do that field for me while I crack on with something else. And as you can see, the textures have changed because all this has been planted and seeded. This is still ready to go. I can simply leave her to it while I run over here, jump in my tractor and get on with this field. So that's the basics of starting out. And the last stage you'll need is this. I've got a little trailer. I'm going to move over to the harvester. Let's just imagine this harvester's full. Obviously I'm going to destroy some crops here, but it wouldn't matter if you were doing a full game. We'll jump in the harvester, watching to not get attacked by them. Turn this on with X, and as you can see it says pipe out. So we want to put as pipe out. Again, it's all LB, and it will just automatically fill up the trailer. Now, as I say, imagine that trailer's full. We'll press LB again and close the cover just for realism. And now this is the next stage of the game that you need to learn. So we'll just park here. I'm going to jump on, and I want to know how much I can get for this. So, wheat, 853 at the bottom. Marizone, 926. So I'm going to tag that. Press A at the bottom, it says A to tag, and then have a look around your map and you should be able to see, he says Marizone there, right in the top corner. So this is another fun part of the game that I absolutely love. Put my beacons on and let's have a little drive to Marizone. And this is where you're going to sell your produce. So again, you'd imagine that this trailer's completely full. And we're just going to drive to Marizone with our produce to sell it. And that's obviously the point of the game, make your money. So I'll fast track up there now and I'll meet you at the shop. As I'm driving past, I may as well show you this petrol station. You see these dotted around the map, you're going to need them to fill up your tank when it's full, because the last thing you want to do is run out of fuel while you're driving around, because then you're going to need to recover it. So I'm going to drive down to the shop to sell this produce. It's just there on the icon popping up. One more left to do. Obviously the trailer would normally be full, so I'm just showing you how to sell your produce, and then once we've done this I'll show you the last point of the game, which is really important, so hold fire for that. And then you should have everything you need to complete this game and get really into it. There's so much to do, it's really difficult to show everything on one video, so please, once you get into animals and things like that, check out my other videos. I've got plenty of other tutorials, but this is a complete beginner's guide just to get you going, and hopefully it's helped some of you out. I'm just going to sell this, and then we'll hold fire for the last part of the video, which is probably one of the most important parts. Jump up here, and as you can see it says RB and Y to start overloading. Overload it, and it will sell your produce, and we'll get the money from that. And there we go, the money has gone up. So that's selling your produce done. I'll jump out of there, and I want to go over this last part of the video. So check the icons as much as possible. Again, you can go down to the helpful guide. Each piece of equipment will tell you in the bottom corner what it will do. So if you go over to headers, for example, the header, if you've got some corn that you need to do, there's no icon for sweet corn, so it's not going to do it. Go over to corn headers, and as you can see, you can do corn and sunflowers. If you're struggling on what the icons mean, go down to the guide, and again, the guide's really helpful. It will tell you exactly what each icon is, so you make sure you buy the right equipment for that icon. What I'll show you now is, I'm going to jump on for a little bit of a bonus tip. Do contracts. Contracts are a great way to make money. They pay you a lot of money. For example, this one's 8,573, and all you have to do is fertilise field 22. You can press to borrow the equipment. So again, I would say do contracts because it gets you used to all the different equipment types. And all you do is you buy the fertilizer, put it in this machine, and off you go. As you can see, I didn't check the icon, so the liquid fertilizer, as I'll show you now, won't fit because this is not a liquid fertilizer one, which jumps on from my previous part of the tutorial. Make sure you check the icons. This one will only take solid fertilizer, so I'll go back to the shop, buy some solid fertilizer, and then we'll fill it up. Once this is filled, drive to field 22, turn on the fertilizer machine, and it will fertilize the field, and that will be that field done. When you're finished, you come back and you collect your payment, and that's that contract done. You can only use the equipment on the field that it's intended for. You can't move on to a different one, so I can't use that equipment to move on to Jules Carroll's contracts. It won't let me. So hopefully this tutorial has helped you out. I think I've covered absolutely everything I can think of early on. Avoid doing animal husbandry just yet because it's a bit more advanced, but when you get used to how everything works, and how everything loads, and all the different equipment types, move on to something like chickens just to get started because they're really low maintenance. You just need a bit of feed. Enjoy the game, and as you get more into it, it starts becoming quite easy, and you'll really enjoy trying all the different mods and trying all the different equipment types. Enjoy the game. Let me know what you think in the comments of the video. Hopefully it's helped some of you out. And happy farming.